Sabaha everybody and welcome back to the channel. Today is the day, unfortunately, where I have to power off my Note 7 and return it. It became an issue mostly with my coworkers and some of my friends that became uncomfortable with me carrying the Note 7 on it. So I'm not going to keep this device. I'm going to return it, and once the Note 7s come back, maybe I'll pick it up again. But in the meantime, I did pick up the iPhone 7, so we kept with the number 7 here. So I'm going to be working with the iPhone 7 for the next week or so as my daily driver. So I'm going to do an unboxing and initial impressions of the iPhone 7 and taking out my SIM card from the Note 7 and putting it back in the box. This is TK, let's check it out. Here is the iPhone 7. I did go with the iPhone 7, not the iPhone 7 Plus, mostly because I have the S6 Edge Plus, so I didn't really feel like that I needed to actually have this. By the way, this is my work phone, so it's not something that I use it on daily driver. When on the weekend, I usually just turn it off. But as a personal daily driver, I haven't actually used an iPhone since the 3GS as my main phone. So let's go ahead and unbox this guy and see what it is. Now, this is the black. This is not the shiny black version that we got. So I'm just going to give you guys real quick. This is the iPhone 7 designed by Apple, of course, the 32 gig model. And I went with a 32 gig mostly because that's actually all that's left. I did not have a reservation. I did not make any pre-lines or stand in line or anything like that. I just walked into Target today, and this is the day after it was released. And I just said, hey, do you guys have any iPhones? They're like, yeah, we have them. Do you have it in black? Yes. So I went ahead and picked it up. First thing, of course, the box. Were designed by Apple California. Just information packet. And surprisingly, but we do have a SIM removal tool. We'll put that on the side. And then some more information, of course, are lovely Apple stickers. I like to prank people at work when I put those on my PC, my Windows PC sometimes, and they'll think it's a Mac. Again, this is not the shiny one. This is not going to be the one that you, there's going to be like finger magnet. Let's go ahead and open it up here. We got that nice satisfying sound. Very nice, very compact. I have to say, after using the Honor 8, I kind of got accustomed to using smaller devices in the hand. It's not bad, it's small, it's easy to use. I like the black coloring on it, as this is closer to the finish that I'm used to using on the iPhone. So the S6 Edge Plus has the same material, just now it's finally here, a black iPhone. Something that I've actually wanted on it as a color since the beginning. The main difference, of course, here we're looking at is, obviously this is the smaller of the two. We actually still have a button here, where here on the new iPhone, it's no longer a button. And it's actually sensitive, so we have a motor that vibrates every time we turn it on. The same design aesthetics as far as looking on the left side. We have power button, and then a SIM card on the right side. On the left, we have volume up, volume down with the vibration, notification ringer on off. On the top, of course, same thing. On the back, this is where your similarities will almost end. You'll notice that the camera protrudes similarly here. We do have the new camera with OIS on the left here, as well as the fact that we have OIS on the 6S Plus, the flash, and the microphone. And then when we turn it to the bottom, we're going to start noticing some differences. We do have two grills on the new iPhone, where we had one on the old S6 Edge Plus, and we are missing, of course, the headphone jack, so we are now dependent on the lightning connector. The rest of the items in the box, we'll go ahead and take this connector out. We have, of course, a lightning cable, that's standard, we're going to need this, and we have a wall charger to be able to charge up our device. And when it comes to the AirPods on the back, we do have that connector that we're going to use to be able to use standard 3.5mm headphones. So if you don't want to use the ones that came with the AirPods, or their AirPods break, as these are lightning AirPods, we can just use this with any set of headphones, connect it to the bottom of the iPhone, and then now we have it. Unfortunately, it's a cable that is going to be another accessory that you may not carry. You're probably going to end up using mostly just Bluetooth, I think. And as far as the AirPods, nothing special. Let's go and open it up. Just lightning AirPods. You can just use them standard Apple AirPods. Nothing really fancy about them. I've never really used the AirPods in the past. Let's go ahead and power up the device. And as I'm doing my first boot up here, I'm going to bring in my Note 7, and I'm going to be removing my SIM card from it, as this is pretty much the end of the road with this Note 7. Hopefully I'll be able to get back into the Note 7 soon. I'm just going to have to put my T-Mobile SIM card.
Setup. Alert. No SIM card installed.
So let's go ahead and insert our SIM card into the device. I'm going to click it here. Now this is an unlocked this is an unlocked device, so this will work with any of the carriers, be it T-Mobile, Verizon, or even AT&T. So the main benefit that I have for you guys is that at this point I'm going to be testing it with T-Mobile, but again, I can actually pop in any SIM and it should be compatible with it. Here we are. SIM is inserted.
Page 2 of 3. English. Button.
Okay, let's go ahead and do this. English, United States, yep. And then use cellular connection. Just going to try to connect. Now I already see LTE on my device. You guys probably already see that there. We have 3 bars. This is T-Mobile. Bluetooth's turned on. The battery's almost full. It is 2:30 in the afternoon. It's taking a few minutes just to configure itself. T-Mobile did show up. So here it says restore from iCloud, restore from iTunes backup, set up as a new phone, move data from an Android device. This is something new. I'm not experienced using this, but this is very nice. We're just going to say set up as a new phone. Here we have to agree to the terms and conditions. I'm not going to use iCloud. I'm going to go ahead and set up Siri. Hey Siri. Hey Siri. Hey Siri. Hey Siri, how's the weather today? Hey Siri, it's me. Siri's ready. Let's just go ahead and say continue. We're going to send to Apple diagnostic. I'm going to say don't. I'm not going to worry about that. Get started. Meet the new home button. We'll say get started. Customize later in settings. Now we have zoomed in or we have standard. I'm going to go with standard. And this is where you'll be able to kind of just do a comparison between zoomed in. I feel like standard is good because at least it looks a little bit more like a higher level of DPI, and I'll be able to happy with that. So get started, we're pretty much done. The device is set up. First off, of course, wallet, Freedom Chase is ready to be used with Apple Pay. This is what I set up when I was setting it in. Swiping from the left, we have just direct, it'll start syncing information, news. Again, I have another iPhone, so that's what it's using. Turn on location services, we'll just say yes. And then that way we'll have a little bit more customized information. The button itself, we have a lot of standard applications, settings, Apple Store, no bloatware as this is not a carrier version. And as far as I remember, I think Apple devices don't generally come with a lot of bloatware. We do have the watch application here that we have to put away anyways because I don't have an Apple Watch. I do have Safari, messages, music, and my phone. And the button, the new button option here. So with double tapping brings down the screen, double tapping it again. Press and hold will bring up Siri.
I'm sorry.
Cancel. We'll go back home. And I think it's double pressing. Yep, we have multitasking, still works. It's a little different using the button here as this is not a button. So the entire phone kind of has a haptic feedback. Here is a, you can kind of hear it. It's a clicky button here. They're both running iOS 10, which is a really nice thing. So as far as camera, we're looking at the brand new camera. Yes, we're going to say allow and just kind of real quick. Some new options that we have here is the fact that this device is waterproof. That's something that's new. We have the new chipset, the Fusion chipset that's on there. We have 2 gigs of RAM on this device as opposed to the 3 gigs with the iPhone 7 Plus. Overall, pretty much the same setting. Again, you definitely have a lot more icons here. You have a bigger screen, but we are expecting to have really good setup on both. So both have the same setup. Bringing them down from the top, you don't really get any big differences here. There's nothing on the left. And of course, Command Center from the bottom, you'll say continue since that's the first time. Turns it on, you have the same access calculator, you have the ability to go straight to camera, night shift, and of course we have the ability of turning on and adjusting the brightness on the screen, airplane mode, all of that stuff. Pressing home takes us back. This is not bad. This is something you just have to kind of get used to. It's small in the hand, it fits nicely. I like, and yeah, so you just have to kind of get used to it. Turn it off. Turn it on once, it unlocks, takes me back in. Now, if I just put my finger on it, nope, it doesn't do that anymore. So that's there. So if I press and hold it on the side, it doesn't unlock the device. I'm able to see my notifications. Very simple, very easy. Go back home, unlock, takes it back. One thing I wanted to kind of mention to you guys is that now we actually have stereo speakers on this device. So that's one thing that we haven't had in the past. And here it is. So let's go under radio. And we'll turn on Live LA. I'm going to turn on Wi-Fi, but I don't really need it. So, let's play it again. It does sound different. This is very interesting. You can listen to the exact same station. Now, the volume is higher here, but let's go ahead and go back into music and make sure that the volume is almost at the highest. You can see this one's almost at the same. Let's see which one is louder. So let's go ahead and go full volume. This is interesting. The iPhone 6s Plus still sounds louder than the new S7. Now, although the iPhone 6s Plus sounds louder, the iPhone 7 actually sounds clearer and has more bass. So I think overall, I think I'm going to be enjoying this a little bit more. And one thing you want to be aware of, the old iPhones only had a single firing speaker facing the other way, so you always have to kind of cup it. The new iPhone 7 has the speaker using the actual earpiece as well as the speaker on the right. So when you're listening to music, you can feel that the speaker is actually generating audio, and I think it kind of works as a tweeter. And then we of course has dual speakers right there. Let me just play it one more time. Yeah, definitely we're getting audio from the top piece and audio from the bottom right side. So these two are the actual ones generating the audio, because as you put your finger on them, you can feel them. And the bottom left one doesn't generate any audio. As you guys noticed, I did pick up the 32 gig model of the iPhone 7. That was pretty much the only thing that was left. I was surprised actually when I walked into the Target store here in the town that I live in. And I said, hey, do you guys have any iPhone 7s or 7 Plus? And she's like, yeah, we have a couple. Black, of course, this is the color I would like. So I picked up the iPhone 7. Again, I have the 6s Plus to kind of keep me company if I really need a bigger iPhone. But till I get something new with the Note 7 having to go back because of the recall, this is going to make, really make do. And I'm going to see basically, am I really going to be enjoying using an iPhone as a daily driver? Now, the 32 gig is not an issue for me because, as you guys probably have seen the other video that I did before, I do have this iDisk, which gives me the ability of adding 64 gigs on top of the 32. So I don't think I'm going to be running out of space or having any issues with the 32 gig device, as this is something now that is becoming more of the standard. There's no more 16 gigs. Other than that, let me know what you guys think in the comments below. Like and subscribe as usual. Thank you very much for the support, and I'll see you guys again next time when I'm doing the video underwater test with this little guy.